Why is everyone and their mother doing press-on nails? What is the big deal about them? And would they even work? How would you do it? Let's jump right in and talk about that. What's up, nail crew? It's Nicole, your fellow DIY nail-obsessed friend, and we're going to talk about press-on nails, how they would work, and I'm going to compare 5 different brands. I know in the first shot, I also had one more brand, but I forgot to do it forgot to compare it when I was looking at the video. I set them aside and then totally forgot. So the first one we're going to look at are the natural nails from Apres, I forget how to say it. I bought these and I thought, oh my gosh, these are perfect. Like when I first was looking at them on their website, I thought these are going to be so great. I can just leave them on. I won't have to do my nails, all the time. I could just have this color on and then they would look nice. Well, let me tell you, these have been the most disappointing nails, full cover nails that I have ever tried. Okay, I could not get them to stick to my nails whatsoever. They kept popping off every single time that I put them on. I ended up losing all 10 nails. So that was a rough nail night for me. So I thought, okay, let's look at them for full covers and doing press-ons. Well, they're really, really stiff, and you can see me kind of bending them and trying to get them on. Like they literally shoot off your finger as soon as you put them on your nails. I don't understand how they're working for people. The gap is huge, and this is even their natural curve, not even their C curve tips. So I can't imagine how much more curved their C curve tips are. I'm putting them on my nails and just kind of like comparing how much room you would have underneath your nail in between the fake nail, the press-on, and then your real nail. Because if you're using just regular nail glue, how would you get these to stay on? Like there would be so much gap that they wouldn't stay on well. I actually did a previous video I did a review on the Scandal Beauty tips, and I had the same thing. And by day 3, like pretty much every single one was off. So if you have a big gap in between your natural nail and the press-on, they are not going to stay. So what we're looking for today is we want to find nails that do not have a large gap in between our nail and the press-on nail. Now, my nails are decently curved for natural nails other than my thumb. So to me, if you're somebody who has flat nail beds, like you definitely don't want to praise. And I tried these BTArtbox ones. I just got them off Amazon a while ago, and I actually use them sometimes to practice nail art on. And I have used these on my niece to do press-ons for her, and they held up okay. They held up for 3 or 4 days before they started popping off. But again, you can see there's still a decent amount, not as much as the Apres, but there's still a decent gap in between my natural nail and the press-on. So these to me, even though they fit my nails sidewall to sidewall, they would not be a good option if I wanted to do press-ons because they just aren't flush enough to my natural nails. So if you're putting these on with, say, a builder gel or a gel nail glue that you cure and is much thicker, then having some gap in between your natural nail and the full cover, these press-ons, it's not as big of a deal because you're applying them and you have that thick gel to fill in the gap. Now, these Beetle ones, I was super disappointed in them, not because they're not nice, but because look, this is the 0. The 0 barely went halfway down my nail. So I can't even use these unless I'd use a separate one for my thumb because they're just way too small for my thumb. That's what I always have trouble finding tips that are big enough to fit my massive thumb. Now, if you look at it on my ring finger or on my pointer finger here, there is only a small amount of space in between my pointer finger natural nail and the full cover. But there's still some room. So if you're somebody who wants to wear these for a week and wants them to stay on, you're probably not going to get a week out of them unless you use some kind of really thick glue and end up doing them not as press-ons and doing them as full cover tips, applying them with the nail gel glue or builder gel that needs cured. And one other thing to remember is anytime you're doing press-ons, you cannot apply them to your nail with any kind of gel unless they're clear, or these Apres ones are actually meant to be cured on your nail. But I don't know, for me, the light was not penetrating through. I mean, I cured them exactly how long they said, and they still popped, everything still popped off. I'm comparing right here, like look at the C curve on the Apres brand compared to the Beetles. Now the Beetles was much more flexible, which was nice because if you were pressing them onto your nail, you have a much better chance of them staying down. And the Apres was super, like, they were really hard, so they're not going to lay as flat. Now I have these Gella ones from Amazon, and look, there is like no gap in between my natural nail and the press on. That's to me what you're looking for when you're doing press ons. If you're somebody who wants to wear these for a while, I know you probably see a bunch of nail influencers or content creators, nail content creators, whatever everybody's calling themselves now. They're doing a lot of press ons and they're only wearing them for maybe an hour or two to take a picture, at most a couple days, most of these people who are doing the press-ons. So when they're doing them, if they pop off quick, it's okay. But if you're somebody who wants to keep your nails on for a while, keep these things in mind when you look at how people are applying their nails and how much gap is underneath their natural nail compared to a different kind of tip or one of the tips that you'd apply with builder gel or nail gel glue. You can see the Gella ones really laid flat to my nail and didn't pop off at all, just like sitting on my nail, whereas these Apres ones literally like would not stick, would not even set remotely flat. So I kept comparing everything just to like give everybody a good idea to see. And here you can see at the tip of my nail there was a gap. So if you're going to also use press-ons, you really don't want to have any of your natural nail coming over, like you don't want to have any of the little white showing at the edge of your nails. You want them to be pretty darn short. Like even here, if I was doing press-ons regularly, I'd probably still trim my nails a little bit down if I wanted them to stay on for a while. Then I compared the bubble ones, and Bubble's a newer brand I started using, and these actually, of all the ones I've tried, are my favorite tips. They just they curve down in the back towards your cuticle, and that's something else that you want to look at, because a lot of the other ones, they don't have enough of a flush curve. So if you're going to use them as a press on, they're going to kind of pop up and not look as flush and natural, whereas the bubble ones really look the most natural. The bubble, the Gella, and I would say the Beetles would be my third choice. For me, there's still a gap. So if you're somebody who has a deeper natural curve of your nails, then doing one of these other ones would be okay for you. But for, many of us who don't have super curved nails, it's just, I was putting the X over the Apres because it's definite no for me. I didn't do this video to try to like bash any companies or say that, their products are bad, but I want people to know, like, if you want to do press-ons, you need to know the information. You need to know what you're trying to do, because I would never want somebody to take all this time doing their nails, applying these beautiful press-ons, and then they come off a day later because they were not fitted to your natural nails. So those three are my final choice of which ones I would like to do as press-ons. And I actually thought this would be really fun, since I really haven't tried press-ons ever, other than the Scandal Beauty, which I don't recommend those. Tell me which one of the three, the Gella, the Bubble, or the Beetles, which one you want me to do a press-ons with. Now, spoiler alert, if I do the Beetles ones, if that's the one you guys pick, my nail is going to have to be like way up on the side it's going to be way away from my cuticles. Like here, I'm comparing the Bubble to the Beetles, and you can see how much extra space was on the Bubble's nails on the sides compared to the Beetles ones. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think you want to do press-ons? And what one do you want to see me do press-ons on? Thanks for joining me today, Nail Crew.